Shows Norm McDonald driving a taxi, looking into a camera on the dashboard. McDonald. It's not easy being a cabbie these days. What with all the Ubers, you know? Shows Denitra Vance trying to wave down the cab, with McDonald driving past her without stopping. McDonald. It's especially tough in this economy, you know? It's real tough out there. Shows Phil Hartman waving down the cab 50 feet down the block from Vance. McDonald slows down to pick up Hartman and says, well, here we go. Hartman gets in the cab, shows he has a mask, gun, and suitcase with him. Hartman, step on it, cabbie. We're crossing state lines. McDonald looks at the camera before turning back to Hartman and saying, crossing state lines, eh? You know, I should tell you, you're actually being Phil Hartman. I don't want to hear you, cabbie. Just get me to Indiana, pronto. John Belushi and Gilda Radner in a police car turn on their lights behind McDonald trying to get him to pull over. Hartman aims his gun at McDonald and says, do not pull over. Just keep driving. They'll stop at Indiana. McDonald, but sir, I was driving 30 over the limit. I don't think they're pulling me over for you, you know? Hartman, I don't care, buddy. Just keep driving. As McDonald slows down the taxi to pull over, he says, again, I'm trying to tell you, sir, that you're being Phil. Hartman shoots McDonald, who keels over, with his foot still on the gas pedal. Hartman jumps up front, grabs the wheel, and pushes McDonald to the passenger side and gets his foot on the pedals. Cuts to Radner in the police car, who gets on a CB radio and says, can you tell the FBI that the bank robber has killed the cabbie and is driving towards Indiana? Radner then smiles at a camera on the dashboard. Shows Belushi driving, who looks at the camera and says, I hope this guy slows down before Indiana so we can get him on our show. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. Jan Hooks over the CB radio says, you're not gonna believe this, but that taxi has a camera for the show Taxi Cab Confessions inside. Shows Hartman drive the cab into Indiana, and he eventually pulls over towards what appears to be an abandoned house. Hartman runs inside the house. Inside the house, Hartman hears a little girl say, I'll be there in a minute. Before Hartman can leave, Chris Farley in a suit enters the room and says, take a seat. As Hartman turns towards the door, Farley says, now I don't think so, buddy. There's cops surrounding the place. But before you go, why don't you tell our viewers why you messaged a 12-year-old girl? Shows Tom Davis driving in a car towards the house with a bouquet of flowers. But when he sees the taxi, he gets cold feet and drives off. Cuts back to Hartman, who aims his gun at Farley and says, what the hell is going on? What do you mean by viewers? Farley, oh, this thing is being filmed for the show To Catch a Predator. Hartman shoots Farley, who falls down. Hartman runs upstairs and finds Brittany Murphy as a 12-year-old and also finds a megaphone. He hears helicopters and police sirens outside, and Gilbert Gottfried as an FBI agent outside who yells on his megaphone, come on with your hands up! Hartman over his megaphone yells, everybody leave or I'm going to kill the girl. Murphy, what is wrong with you? You're not even the predator we were trying to catch. Hartman, that's right, I'm a bank robber who just stole $12 from a bank in Chicago. It's life-changing money for me. Cuts to Michael O'Donoghue, who takes the megaphone from Gottfried and says, Mr. Robertson, this is Clarence Cobbledick with the FBI. All you did was steal $12. We can work this out. Hartman, yeah? And what about the dead bodies? O'Donoghue, well, perhaps it was in self-defense. But if you don't hand over the girl. Hartman, I want a chopper! You hear me? A chopper! I can hear them outside. Get me my own and get it on the roof of the... Dan Vitale, Charlie Rocket, and Tony Rosado, all wearing SWAT gear, break through the door of the room Hartman was keeping Murphy hostage, and Vitale shoots Hartman, who falls to the ground. Rocket turns to Murphy and asks, "Fuck, are you all right?" Murphy, "Well, I'm not hurt, but dead from the earth, we're not alive." It's Saturday Not Alive, starring John Belushi, Chris Farley, Bill Hartman, Jan Hooks, Norm MacDonald, Gilda Radner, Denitra Vance, and with many other special deceased contributors. Musical guest, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and your host, Joe Paterno. Everybody, Joe Paterno. Applause, applause, applause. Paterno. Thank you, thank you. I'm happy to be here. It's great to be here, and for the record, I'm only a host, so don't hold me responsible for whatever Farley and those guys are doing in the showers. I was the head coach of the Penn State Nittany Lions from 1966 to 2011, with 409 victories. I'm the winningest coach in NCAA FBS history. But my legacy took a hit because I was asked to resign because of sexual misconduct from a previous defensive coordinator. So like I said, I'm just here for the day. Don't blame me for what goes on here. But I do apologize to those who were hurt by the scandal. I was an imperfect man, and I guess I didn't police my coaches well enough. But God darn it, I did the best I could for my family and for the Penn State Nittany Lions football program. Applause, applause, applause. Paterno. They wanted to do a shower gag, but I told them I'd rather honor some other football coach legends. First, a coach who just recently died at 61. Two-time NCAA Coach of the Year, and the mastermind behind the air raid offense, Mike Leach. Leach comes out. Applause, applause, applause. Paterno. And also my dear friend, coaching mostly for the Florida State Seminoles. He won 2 national championships and is the second winningest NCAA FBS coach of all time, after me, Bobby Bowden. Bowden comes out. Applause, applause, applause. Paterno. And I could go on and on and on with so many other great coaches who've died. But I'll mention one more. The third winningest NCAA FBS coach by me and Mr. Bowden. A man who won 6 national titles coaching Alabama for 25 years. Bear Bryant. Bryant comes out. Applause, applause, applause. Bryant. Hey, Joe Pa, are you just going to honor us or are we going to do something funny? Paterno. As long as you don't go in the showers, I'm okay with whatever you do. Bryant. Well, this Leach fella's talking about something called an air raid. Sounds like a war zone. Whatever happened to running the damn football? Leach. What can I say, Bear? Things change. Paterno. They sure do, including women. They gave me a dressing room with Gilda Radner, and she was changing right in front of me. Where's Bobby at? Oh, okay, Bobby went to go recruit Farley for his offensive line. Anyway, folks, we have a great show tonight. Stevie Ray Vaughan is here. So get ready for some pride and joy. We'll be right back.